A seductive woman lay lazily across the bed, full of charm and allure. But on the other side of the room, the man acted as if she wasn't even there. His attention never left the stove. Thin slices of garlic hit the hot oil, releasing their aroma instantly. Salt and pepper followed. Fresh pasta was lifted from boiling water and tossed straight into the pan, where garlic and heat wrapped around every strand. A final sprinkle of scallions finished the dish. A plate of pasta made with absolute precision. He placed the dish in front of the woman. Quick, efficient, no lingering. He never cooked to impress anyone else. He cooked to make the food as good as it could possibly be. His name was Carl, a professional chef with uncompromising standards. Whether it was a restaurant's signature dish or a simple breakfast for his son, he insisted on doing every step himself. That dedication made him the head chef of one of the city's most popular restaurants. But giving everything to the kitchen slowly threw his life out of balance. His marriage fell apart. His family drifted away. A weekend trip to the amusement park with his son was canceled again. Work had interrupted once more. That night, an influential food critic was coming to dine, and that visit would change Carl's life completely. Later that evening, Carl waited in a bar with his co-workers for the review to drop. In his mind, their signature dish had already proven itself. Reliable, safe, impossible to mess up. Then the review was published, and everything changed. The critic held nothing back. He described the dish as predictable, uninspired, a repetition of past success rather than something new. The problem wasn't that it tasted bad. It was that it had no soul. For a chef whose identity was built on creativity, that criticism was almost fatal. Worse still, the critic had a massive following. The review spread fast, shared, analyzed, exaggerated. When Carl got home and opened social media, he realized he had become the center of the conversation. The dish that had defined his career for 10 years was now being torn apart and mocked. Many of the commenters had never even tasted it, yet they piled on without hesitation. Frustration, anger, and resentment finally exploded. Carl typed out a response. He meant to vent privately, but unfamiliar with the platform, he posted it publicly. The emotional reply went viral overnight. His follower count skyrocketed. Supporters and critics clashed, and the debate turned into a full-blown online spectacle. The critic fired back, sharper than before. What started as a discussion about food quickly turned personal. Driven by emotion, Carl publicly invited the critic back to the restaurant. He decided to face the challenge head-on. This time, he refused to compromise. He locked himself in the kitchen for an entire day, rebuilding the menu from scratch. The new dishes didn't aim for safety. They reflected his own instincts. Bold flavors, unexpected combinations. Guests at the test tasting responded enthusiastically. Word spread fast, and reservations sold out almost immediately. For the first time in years, Carl felt the thrill of cooking again. Just as everything was about to pay off, the restaurant owner stepped in. His attitude hadn't changed. He didn't care about creativity, only sales. Under his orders, the new menu was scrapped. The old signature dish returned to center stage. This time, Carl didn't back down. Years of suppressed frustration erupted. After a heated argument, he quit on the spot. He left the restaurant with his ingredients, ending a head chef career that looked successful on the surface, but had been slowly suffocating him. Without its core chef, the restaurant quickly unraveled. The assistants tried their best, but they couldn't replicate Carl's standards. When the critic returned, the same signature dish was served again, but the taste had clearly changed. He asked to see Carl, and was told he had quit. Soon after, new mockery appeared online. Carl was labeled someone who ran from criticism and lost passion for cooking. Anger overtook reason once again. Carl stormed back to the restaurant and confronted the critic. Someone filmed the altercation, edited it heavily against him, and uploaded it online. The video spread rapidly. Public opinion turned overnight. The once celebrated chef became a problem figure. Restaurants refused to hire him. His career came to a sudden halt. As his work collapsed, his life stalled with it. Carl sank into depression, lost and directionless. His ex-wife suggested trying a food truck, a way to bypass the hiring process entirely. But his pride couldn't accept it. Friends urged him to join a TV show and capitalize on the attention. He refused to be used for spectacle. Eventually, someone pointed out the real issue. This job no longer made him happy, and it had cost him time with his son. Pressed by reality, Carl finally stopped running. He decided to reclaim his life first. He visited his ex-wife, hoping to reconnect with his son, only to learn they were planning a trip to Miami to visit her father. She invited Carl to come along. Miami was where his career had first begun. After much hesitation, Carl agreed. The rhythm of Miami was nothing like Los Angeles. Street music, lively nights, food stands on every corner. It all brought back a sense of freedom he'd forgotten. His son slowly opened up, becoming more engaged with the trip. At an old local spot, Carl tasted a Cuban sandwich he hadn't had in years. Simple, but powerful. His ex-wife mentioned the unused food truck again. This time Carl understood. The trip wasn't about travel. It was about pulling him out of his lowest point. The old truck was dragged into view. Rusty, broken down, almost scrap metal. Father and son cleaned it together. There was impatience, arguments, but also teamwork and learning. When Carl's friend Martin heard the news, he flew across the country to help. No small talk. He got straight to work. The three focused on one goal: making the perfect Cuban sandwich. From choosing the meat, marinating, slow roasting, to slicing, stacking, and pressing, every step mattered. On opening day, the aroma pulled people in instantly. When the first payment came through, Carl felt recognized again. They traveled from South Beach to New Orleans. His son documented the journey and uploaded the videos online. Thanks to Carl's past reputation, the food truck quickly gained attention. Lines grew longer every day. Without a boss interfering, Carl's creativity returned. He rediscovered the joy of cooking. Father and son worked together effortlessly. From awkward beginnings to perfect coordination, the road trip wasn't just a business success. It rebuilt their relationship. When the journey ended, Carl returned to his original city. Life seemed to reset, but everything had changed. Soon after, the critic who once clashed with him reappeared. This time, not to criticize, but to support. He invested in Carl's new restaurant and gave him full creative control. 6 months later, Carl launched several new dishes. His career found its footing again. In the new restaurant, he hosted a relaxed party with his ex-wife. And for the first time in a long while, his life felt balanced again.